Hey, good morning. Did you like all that snow? Oh my goodness. As you can see, look at snow, snow, snow. We are in winter here. I guess it is January, so what do you expect when you're in northern New York? I will say that I was watching some live stream video earlier this week of some storm chasers that I watched during, specifically normally tornado season, but they were in Syracuse, New York, who was getting pounded with snow this week, while I am 3 hours north of Syracuse, still in New York. Some people think Syracuse, some people think like Buffalo, New York is the farthest north. Excuse me. You know I don't like editing, so I won't edit that. That Buffalo, New York is the farthest north that there is. When I tell people, oh yeah, I'm near Canada, they're like, oh, Buffalo? Like, no. I'm like 5 hours from Buffalo. So anyway, 3 hours north of Syracuse, and it was clear blue, beautiful skies, no snow in sight. But to think that 3 hours south, they were getting pounded with the lake effect snow. But anyway, welcome to the channel if you're new here, but you probably aren't. I don't think I get very many new people. If you are new, leave a comment that says, hey, first time watching. Because I just think the algorithm, I don't post very often. I don't think it pushes me out. So really the only people who probably watch me are people who watch me all the time. So when I get my 35 views, I think it's most of my regulars, which I appreciate all of you for coming back and watching and just getting an update on my life, right? So first I want to say thank you to those who, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me sink the heat in my car. Because it is cold. It is 18 degrees out right now. And I'm going to put my seat on. All right, so I wanted to thank those who joined my Facebook group, the Resellers Hangout. And then I think it says like eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, I don't know. Like there's a bunch of store platforms listed after the title of the Facebook group. But I think if you go to facebook.com, I think if you put in groups and just put in Resellers Hangout, you'll probably see me pop up. We don't have very many members, like 100, maybe 200, I don't know, somewhere around that. And so I just want to thank those who followed me from my Discord and back to Facebook, because I had done Facebook, then I left and went to Discord. There was really hardly any post in the Discord, and it just, honestly, people aren't just going to Discord yet on a regular basis where they are still checking Facebook. So I said, all right, let's go back to Facebook. And that was probably like a year ago. And a few of you came over, and I appreciate that. And then I did do a post on an eBay group I belong to that I don't think it has any active moderators. And somebody was commenting about like spam or like junk or whatever. And I'm like, hey, you know, my group's moderated. Thanks, Anissa, for helping me moderate. And not just that, but I'm really, really stringent on who I let in. You have to answer questions. I check your profile, Anissa and I, and we both just make sure that we're not letting in spammers. Now, I'm not saying that won't ever happen, because, you know, people are very clever and can answer correctly and get in. And then if they do start to spam, or if I feel like it becomes spammy, I don't mind, you know, a few posts every now and then. Like there was one recently where somebody, were they selling something? Maybe going out of business? I can't remember. And I was like, do I want to allow this? And then I'm like, yeah, I'll just let it go. But if it became like all the time, I'd probably say, okay, all right, this isn't what this group is for. So every now and then, I'm actually don't really mind it. Plus, it's a post other than me. And that doesn't happen as often in the group. There are some people who post every day what they're selling on eBay and Etsy and Poshmark and Mercari, Depop. I think that's probably about it where people sell. So come join Resellers Hangout. All right, so I'm heading to Aldi's. I had picked up an item from there, from the Aldi's Aisle of Shame last week, and overnight, right, the negatives across posting. Overnight, I sold this one item on 2 platforms. It very, very rarely happens. And I will say that neither of the platforms, I think one was Mercari and one was Etsy, that neither platform really have a huge penalty on cancellations. So you know, if I don't find it, I'll just cancel. I'll probably cancel on Mercari because Etsy paid more. Because you know why? People on Etsy almost always pay more than any other platform. I can sell things for at least 15-20% higher. So if I'm selling something for 20, let's say, well, I'll do 30 because the math is easier for me, maybe. If I'm selling something for $30 on eBay, I will cross-post it to Mercari for 30. But when I list it on Etsy, I will list it as 36. Because Etsy warrants higher prices. People will pay it on Etsy. Etsy does more advertising on Google. So when I do a search for something, especially like at a thrift store, Etsy results will come up a lot of times more than the eBay results do. I think it's because a few years ago, when eBay put out the promotions, what are they? The promotion, is it called Advance, or they're Offsite, Advanced Offsite, or something like that? It's called. I don't know. They changed the names recently too to them. I don't think they push stuff to Google as much now unless you're paying them to push it to Google. So with the offsite stuff, it's like pay per click, and I don't do any of that. I only do the on-site, on eBay promoted listings, and I think I do trending, but I cap it, right? Depending on the category, I'll cap it at different amounts. So that's pretty much what I do for eBay. So when I do a search on eBay, on Google, I'm just not finding eBay stuff as often as I used to. I think it's because a lot of people just aren't opting into that option. But I see a lot of Etsy. And you know what I saw? Was it last night or this morning? I was comping some stuff because I was using the Google Lens and I was doing some listings. And Didbit, or like District, if you're not familiar with the District platform, I'm gonna have to cough again. I should have brought a drink with me. I really hope when I cough it's not loud in your ears. But anyway, District is a platform. It's almost like Shopify, where District doesn't normally, they don't really advertise District. It's a platform, but then there's stores within the platform. So like Shopify is a platform, but then there's stores within, like you own your own personal store within Shopify. You just use Shopify's platform to sell. So you can't go to District and shop for individual items without going into somebody's store and then finding the things. Versus eBay, you can do a search for all of eBay. And there's stores within eBay, but you can do a search within eBay. I don't know if that makes any sense. But the Commonwealth Picker, the Trash to Cash podcast crew, they have a store called Didbit, which is, I think, primarily all vintage toy type stuff related things. I heard that Dave opened up a store recently to do with home goods. And I know that, is it the Crazy Lamp Lady, or is it Lavender Close? I think it's the Crazy Lamp Lady that's got, oh my gosh, Knick-Knack. Knick-Knack Paddywhack. She's got one called Knick-Knack, which I've been approved on all of these, not all of them, right? I've been approved on Didbit, I've been approved on Knick-Knack, I've been approved on a handmade one, like a year ago, and I've done nothing with any of it because my cross-posting software that I use, which I use Flyp. If anybody is interested in Flyp and has any questions, let me know. It's only $9 a month. I do get, I think it's like an Amazon gift card if you use my referral link and so forth, but I think the information is probably down below. But I'll tell you, I've tried Vendu and List Perfectly, and then I went to Flyp, and I like Flyp the most. I've been with them since July of 2023, and it has unlimited importing, unlimited cross-posting. It shares your Poshmark closet. It sends out offers. You can set it up to be automated, so it automatically does it if you leave your computer on. Or, like me, I just go and hit share twice a day, and it shares it. That way I don't have to leave my computer on. But anyway, they don't have cross-posting yet for Didbit. So it would require me to either put different stuff up there or manually cross-post, and honestly, I've been just working on my death pile, trying to get that up And to me, that's more important than adding another platform like Didbit right now. But I'm thinking hopefully this year I really would like to cross-post and get some stuff in. I saw Kevin mention that he sold, Kevin Commonwealth, that he sold something on Dave's Home thing, and he said he'd only listed 2 items there. And I thought, okay, Tamara, you don't have to list all of your vintage 70s and 80s toys on Didbit. Like, you don't have to get everything listed. Just list a few items. List stuff that you're surprised hasn't sold yet on eBay and pop it in there, and maybe it'll sell. So I kind of been thinking about maybe just jumping and getting at least a few things listed on each of them. And I may actually possibly do that today. We'll see. It is Sunday, football, and so a lot of times when I'm watching football, I will be cross-posting or listing or something like that. So it depends on whether or not I go downstairs and take more photographs, because I think I got about 25 items up between yesterday afternoon, and I listed a few more this morning, and I'm all out of photographs, so now I got to take more photos. But in the meantime, I got to go get groceries. All right, I don't like how often I'm coughing on this video. So I've been dealing with plantar fasciitis. If anybody has ever dealt with that and found a good solution, please let me know. I've had it since May, and I would say about the last 2 months. Okay, now I gotta turn my seat down, and I'm gonna turn my fan down. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. About 2 months ago, it got to like, it hurt to stand up and walk, like really bad on my left foot, like really bad. So I had talked to my doctor in September about it, and they did some x-rays, and they said, yeah, it is plantar fasciitis. You've got a bone spur on your fascia and on your Achilles. So she had mentioned to me about icing and stretching and ibuprofen, and I did that for a week and resting it and so forth. It didn't really make much of a difference. So I called her, or sent her a message and said, can I get a referral to a podiatrist? And I got a referral, but they couldn't take me until January, which ends up being the same week, which is next week. I am going to be out of town. I'm heading to Florida for a week with with some family members. So I ended up having to cancel that after I realized, oh shoot, that's in the week of my thing. So they couldn't take me again till February. And this was at the beginning of December. And I said, I just I can't wait. I got a trip coming up. I can't even walk. So I'm gonna have to do something else. So I started physical therapy, and I've been going to physical therapy, and he's been giving me a hard time that I don't wear shoes in my house. So now I wear a pair of Vionic slippers. Plus he gave me I bought some insoles from him, who I then went on Amazon, and I paid $35 at the PT office. And then I got home and I looked them up, and they're $18 at Amazon, $18.95. So I ordered another pair to put in another pair of shoes. So I have 2 already set ready to go, so I don't have to switch insoles when I want to wear different shoes. And I think they've been helping some. I don't know if it's the shoes. Maybe they'll help it from getting worse as it gets better from going to the physical therapist. He's been having me do some stretches on my foot. He's also been massaging it, which I told him that when I go for like a body massage, which I've gone through one in August and one in October, and when they massage my foot, like a week, I go for like a week without really any pain in my foot. So I felt like the massage was probably really beneficial. And so he's been massaging and doing a TENS unit and ultrasound and then icing it. So I've been doing that twice a week. And I mean, it's gotten a little better. I feel like I can get up and walk, and I'm not going like I was. It was so painful. You have no idea. I would stand up, and I was so fearful to take a step because it hurt so much. So now I told him, I said, it's not really painful. It's just uncomfortable. Like, I feel discomfort in my foot still, in my heel primarily. I said, but it's not like painful. Like, I'm not making those squeaky noises when I take a step. So I'm hoping when I leave next week for Florida, I think we're still undecided whether we're doing Disney or Universal. I'm really hoping I can handle walking around the park. So I'm so nervous. You guys have no idea. I'm so nervous. I'm going to ruin it for everybody. I'm going to just become cumbersome. Honestly, if it gets so bad, I'll stay at our condo that we rented, and they can just go off and go do whatever. I don't want to become, you know, like, oh, you have to push me in a wheelchair because I can't walk. And honestly, 2 months ago, I was saying, they're going to have to push me in a wheelchair if I go. I was on the verge of canceling. So give me any tips if you have any on plantar fasciitis, because it's been just incredibly horrible. It does help when I take ibuprofen, but that just kills your stomach, and I don't want to keep on a high dose of ibuprofen at 800 milligrams for any extended period of time. So I gotta find relief. During the week though, next week I'll probably be popping it every 4 hours just to give myself some relief. I think if I do it for a week, it should be okay, as long as you got food in your stomach. So let's see, what else? I'm almost at my Aldi's, so I might do a video on the way back talking about other stuff I wanted to update you guys with. I have been just really hammering my death pile and getting stuff listed, plus still sourcing. Although yesterday I was going to go sourcing, and I said, no, let's work on the rest of your death pile. Let's get it done. I've been listing larger items. I had a child's, what was the brand name of that? It was a kid's backpack, not a back, like a carrier. You know, an adult wears it and puts a child in the back of it for like hiking or whatever. And I had that for a while, and I'm like, oh, I gotta list this. And I was worried about selling it because I gotta go find a box for it. And I said, I'm just gonna list it and add an extended handling time for that one. So when it does sell, I'll have to go to U-Haul and get a box, or make a box from a large moving box from Lowe's or something like that. So I did list it, and in the meantime, I cross-posted that via Flyp to Facebook. And I haven't been really cross-posting much to Facebook because I just don't really get a lot of sales for shipping stuff there anymore. But something big like this, somebody did reach out. I paid $10 for it at a garage sale, and I sold it for $65 on Facebook Marketplace when they came to the house and picked it up. Actually, Tony did it because I was at PT at the time. So I said, I'm going to go down and focus on more of these big items. Like, I've got a front bumper to a car that when I hit a deer, the guy who did the auto work on my car, we were talking about what I do for a living, and he said gotta find a parking spot. He says, oh, I got a bunch of pieces that have just been sitting around. I'm thinking about just throwing them away. And I'm like, oh, I'll take them. So this was the largest of them. A lot of the other ones were smaller. A lot of them were for the Mini Cooper. And I listed those. Some of them sold. I still have a few pieces. I think it's hard because I don't know car parts. And you know, eBay has that guaranteed fit thing. So, I mean, thankfully they're all OEM pieces, so I could kind of look up the model number because it's printed on it and go with that. But this bumper, hopefully somebody local will pick it up. I can't remember what kind of vehicle it was. But it's a plastic bumper. I did not list it on eBay. I just did local pickup because it's huge. I don't want to ship that. Not only is it so big, like a bumper, right? But it's a plastic bumper. So then I'd get worried about it breaking. And I don't want to pay if it arrived broken and then I had to refund somebody. That's a huge amount of money to refund and not be able to recoup anything with the shipping. So all right, so I'm at Aldi's. You know, I probably will do another video, and I'll combine it to this. I know, editing, but combining two videos isn't too bad, right? Because I already have to combine the snow video. So don't go away. You're gonna think I'm leaving, but I'm not, because I'm gonna continue on with even more video. I'm back. It's not just like magic. I did not find what I was looking for, so that's a bummer. They didn't have it. But I did pick up two of something else I'm going to resell. I was also looking for some tea for my sister-in-law. You know, if you have a store that's not all over the country and they sell things, especially if they're seasonal or regional, look them up and see if there's a market for them. I know when I was selling on Amazon, that kind of stuff went really well. I don't really do it a lot with this. I don't sell Amazon at all anymore, But there was a tea, cranberry hibiscus tea that I had picked up in, I think it was September. So I think it was maybe part of their fall line. And I had given a couple bags to my sister-in-law to try, and she loved them. And when she came over at Christmas time, I gave her a couple more bags because I still had some more of that tea left. And I still have a little bit more, but she's like, hey, see if they have any more because I want some. They didn't. And she also wanted some sriracha sauce that she said she picked up from there, and they didn't have any of that either. So the thing is there's certain aisles within Aldi's that are seasonal. And if you see them and you like it, pick them up, because chances of them being there next time you go could be really, really slim. Definitely as the season progresses, if it's a seasonal item, they probably won't restock it, and that's it. That's what they got. So it's kind of, I mean, it's touchy, because if you haven't tried it, sometimes you want to try it first before you buy a bunch of it. But then if you try it and you love it, I suggest getting back there as soon as you can to pick up more of it for yourself. But again, those are also things that are good for resellers. So she looked on Amazon, and they had that tea on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. Obviously more money than if you went to the store and bought it. So look for those type of things. You could do really well with that. All right, so I wanted to tell you guys, just do a little recap, and I'll probably put that as my title, even though it's the second part of my video. So I'm sorry for those who read the title and are just hearing my recap of quarter 4. So quarter 4, I had a great quarter 4. I have not run my numbers. Should I even admit to you guys that I literally have not done any accounting for all of 2024? Like none, zero, zip, zilch, nada. None. I know. It is on my list for this year. I will do it monthly. I've got to do it monthly. The challenge is that now that I'm on so many platforms, I've got to run reports from all of those platforms. And I know there's, what is it, like software programs or whatever called, like resellers, something. I can't remember the name of it. But you can join and they will pull like your eBay stuff. But it doesn't pull from all of the platforms. And at the time, and I don't know if it's changed, but as of last fall, they were not pulling from Etsy. And I said, I have got to have it pull from Etsy, because Etsy is one of my top performing platforms, and it's got to pull from Etsy. And I said, I tried it during, like, I don't know, it was like a 90-day or something. I did it, was it last? No, not last. It was 2023. So I think it was December, January, February, ending February 2023. I tried it. And I said, I just can't use it. It doesn't, I still have to do so much manual that I might as well just do everything manual. And honestly, running the eBay reports is not that difficult for me. And someday I should try and figure out how to show you guys that, but how boring of a video. But I run the report, I add, if you know Excel, it's pretty simple. You go on, I just do a filter and sort the columns, and I can total up everything I paid for shipping. I can total up the total of my sales, the total of my fees. It just gives me all those numbers that I then plug into a consolidated spreadsheet, breaking by month, and then by year to date. And then I can then take that, and that's what I put over for my taxes. So I have done nothing. But anyway, back to 2024, Q4. So I feel like I had done really well. So I think it was probably around December 15th or so. I ran a report on all my I think it was on all the platforms, and I was doing about 14,000 in sales for the last 30 days. Well, you do have to understand, my normal 30-day total is like $3,000. So for me to be at 14,000, and I know it's higher than that, because I honestly, like, once December hit, my sales after Thanksgiving, my sales just picked up a lot. So on December 15th, it was taken all the way back to November 15th. Well, November 15th to Thanksgiving was pretty slow. I was a little worried about what Q4 was going to bring. So for me, my Q4 was really the month of December. And I sold quite a bit. I sold quite a bit the day of Christmas, the day after Christmas, like all the way up to New Year's. Like I'm still shipping out, I don't know, like 10 to 20 items a day, I would say, at least. Well, there's a store I don't share on one of my on my Facebook group, but that store, you know, I'm shipping out 50 to 60 if I include that store. So, but anyway, I'm still shipping a lot and selling a lot, and so I don't know what my end result is going to be for just the month of December. I think overall, maybe the month of December helped my overall 2024 sales because I was down versus 2023. But I feel like that last few weeks of December really kicked butt. And you know, there's so many Facebook groups I'm in and YouTube channels I watch, especially Etsy ones. And so many people closed their store on like the 15th or the 18th of December. They're like, I closed my store on December 18th because packages aren't guaranteed to get there. You know, there's no guarantee. I shipped stuff on December 2nd that got there after Christmas, just going like a few states away. So there's no guarantee anyway. But people were like, I closed my store, so I don't have to deal with people saying it's not there by Christmas. I'm like, hey, you know what? I think I had maybe 2 people, maybe 2, maybe 3 tops. People say, hey, where's my package? And they didn't get it. Or they didn't say anything and I just noticed that it hadn't even arrived. But maybe it wasn't for Christmas, so it was no big deal for them. But I was really surprised by the amount of people who closed their store. And I'm like, I'm shipping 30 things today and your store is closed. The next day, I'm shipping 35 today and your store is closed. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I understand if you're going away for Christmas, but put time away, but still accept offers. If you're only going to be gone for, well, Christmas was on a Wednesday, right? So I guess if you're gone for a whole week, like I'm going to be gone all next week, I'm going to turn my store completely off. I'm not going to accept any orders while I'm gone for the whole week. But if I was doing that at Christmas time, gosh, I don't know. If I was gone for a whole week, would I close my store? I don't know. I don't know if I would. Maybe. But if I'm still home and I have the ability to ship, I just don't want to deal with people saying, oh, I didn't get my item. Honestly, okay, close your store because they're going to come shop with me instead, right? I mean, I was just shocked by the amount of people as I'm shipping out so many things every day. Again, leading up to like Christmas Eve, 28 items. I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers. I don't know what my numbers were. But it was still a lot going out every single day, except for Christmas Day. But I had sales on Christmas Day. And then Christmas Eve, the day after Christmas, shipping them out. Shipping every day. I normally ship every other day. There's no way I could ship every other day because it was taking me, my post office closes at 1:30 and I like to get there by 1 o'clock. And I usually will go down and start working at 9. It was taking me from 9 until 1 o'clock to package all my orders because I had so many. And a lot of breakables. Like I've expanded into more breakables. I just sold something for $22. LL Bean something. LL Bean fleece. I've been getting into more and more breakables, but also more clothing. So I'm not doing as many non-breakables and non-clothing. I've just been trying to narrow down what I want to sell a little bit more. What I find enjoyment in sourcing are the breakable items. I love looking at hard goods. I love depression glass. I love art glass, anything along those lines. I have just, as a 56-year-old woman, I have become just really interested in this so much more. I think a lot of it was, I think I mentioned it before, that when my mom passed in January of 2023, going through her stuff, I did take some of her depression glass, or she had given me depression glass a long time ago and I finally opened it. But I think a lot of it started when I took her hutch. We had tried to sell her hutch and her dining room table, didn't sell it successfully. So then I convinced my husband into, let's take her dining room set, replace ours, and I sold mine and took hers in. So then now I had this hutch. What am I going to put in it? So I had some of her china that she'd gotten for her wedding. I got some green depression glass from my brother, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to get another China hutch, and I'm going to put it in my living room, and I'm going to start displaying these beautiful pieces that I've been sourcing. I put them in the hutch, and then when they sell, I take them out of the hutch, pack them, and ship them, and then I replace them with something new I find, because I just love looking at it. It's just, honestly, it makes me happy. So I've been selling more and more breakables. I've been buying whole dinnerware sets and then piecing them out into places of 4, like 4 plates, 4 bowls, 4 dinner, 4 lunch plates, breaking it up into individual. So I've got totes and totes of dinnerware. One set, I think all I have is this sugar and creamer. I sold the teapot, I sold the plates, the bowls, the cups, I had so many pieces, and I sold it all. And that just takes so much time wrapping, because I take pride in how I ship my stuff. I don't want anything to get there broken. And I sold a lot of that this year, so it just takes a lot more time to package it and ship it. I sell mugs. If I can find some really cool tumblers, bowls, just a lot of breakables, a lot of glass, and just for clothing. But clothing is so simple. Clothing for me, shipping is simple. I put it in a clear poly bag, or just a protective bag, seal that up, then I throw it into a poly mailer, off it goes. Simple when it comes to shipping. But it's more time when it comes to photography, because you got to take a picture of it, front, back, any special details, the size tag, the material content tag if it's separate, measurements. I do a chest and the length. I just listed some sports coats, and I did the chest, the length, the shoulders, and then I did the arm, but I think I may have measured the arm wrong. So yeah, there's that. First time listing a sports coat. They had a bunch of sports coats. So I have a Salvation Army, and the first Saturday, which was yesterday, and I didn't go, the first Saturday of every month, all their clothing is 99 cents. Unless it's like a specialty clothing, they don't do that. Like wedding dresses, and they had some brand new, they're like Carhartt, but they're called Blue Mountain. That stuff was brand new with tags. I think maybe Tractor Supply carries that brand. They may have donated those to the Salvation Army. Those were all not part of the 99 cents in December. But I picked up Woolrich sweaters, and in November when I went, I think it was November, maybe even October, I picked up some men's suits. I thought, what the heck, for 99 cents, I'll take a chance. So I finally got around to listing them yesterday. I don't know if I'll do it again. If I do, the problem is a 99 cent day, and as you know, like when you go to the bins, or when you go to other places, and I probably need to do this. This place is just really small, and it's so cram-packed. They're looking for a larger space, but they haven't been able to find one. But anyway, I ended up finding sport coats that were missing buttons. And then another one had some like stain right here on the sleeve. Other than that, it was fine. And then another, pair of dress pants that I got. They came with a sport coat, but I separated them because they were different sizes. So I think the pants were custom made, and the jacket was probably custom made. But it's weird because when I put in the brand name, which I can't remember what it was, started with a C. It was like whatever clothing, but then underneath it had another like Royce Clothing, ROYCE, out of Norwood, New York, which is local to me. So, but then I saw some other ones that were under that brand name, but then it said out of like Portland, Oregon or whatever. So I'm not sure what that is. Maybe they have different shops. I don't think they're around here anymore. I've never heard of them. But anyway, the pants they look like they were custom made because they didn't have any tags. But they ended up having some like little holes in them. I don't know if it got snagged on something. I don't know if there's a wool content and maybe they're moth had eaten through them. They were very, very tiny. If you were wearing a sport coat with it, you wouldn't even see the spots, the little holes. So I ended up throwing them up anyhow. I paid 99 cents for a 3-piece suit. I listed the jacket, the vest, and the pants separately. So I said, you know what? I'll throw the pants up. I think I listed them for like $9 maybe. And if they don't sell, probably in the next couple months, in March, I'm doing a major clear out of stuff that's been listed for a long time. I've been discounting it. I've been running sales, running clearance, like all this stuff. I think I'm at maybe 65% off right now, or 60% off in my clearance category, which, I got to check. I think that ended on December 31st. I got to do that today. So those who don't know, I have a category I created in my store called clearance. And so you can put 2 categories for your items. So if I had a men's sweater and I've had it listed for a long time, it'll be under my men's sweaters, tops, whatever. Like I got one that covers all of those. And then the second category I put in under clearance. So I do a bulk edit, add them to clearance when I want to put them into clearance. And then my clearance will go up as time goes on. So I'm pretty sure I'm at 60% right now. So I need to take and run a sale again on that one category in my store. So I've been doing that every month. Anyway, I plan on going into that category in March and starting to pull stuff. So in February, I'll probably go in and I might make another category of 75% off, or maybe even 80, right? And run anything that is $20 and above. Maybe do just that really high level clearance to clear it out. And all I care, if I paid $1 for something and I'm trying to sell it for 30 and it hasn't sold, I'm happy if I sell it for $5 and get my $1 back. Gets it out of here. It's activity in my store, which I know eBay loves activity in stores when you have a sale, when you sell something. So for me, I'm good with that. And so I want to get that stuff out, but then I'm going to clear it out because the first weekend of May, I am having a big garage sale, and I'm going to pull stuff and put it in that garage sale. And then whatever doesn't sell, my garage sale will be in Vermont, for Jen's Vermont, by the way, if anybody wants to hit it. And then whatever doesn't sell on Saturday night will go into boxes that will be brought to the Salvation Army on my way home. Not Salvation Army, the Goodwill. So Vermont has Goodwills. We have no Goodwills here. And my Salvation Army is so small that there's just not room for a lot of donations. And they limit you to like 1 bag of clothes, 1 box of non-clothing, and that's it. So every day. So you'd have to go like multiple days. And it's like a 35-minute, 40-minute drive for me to go there to the Salvation Army. So I don't really care to do that where I can just pull up and unload everything at the Goodwill. Or there's a resource store now, has a clothing section in Williston, Vermont, that if I have clothing, I can donate all of that and they can put it there, because I like to shop there more than the Goodwill. Their prices are more reasonable. So that's probably where I'll end up bringing everything, is to the resource store. But that's my big plan, is to clear stuff out. I've heard a lot of eBayers recently, not eBayers, YouTubers, the Bearded Picker and oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The guy from Las Vegas. He does the podcast with the beard. Flipping ain't easy. Why can I not remember his name? All right, well, whatever. I don't want to sit here and stall the video because of that, but I'm just shocked. It's going to drive me crazy. Jenna, what the heck is his name? Jenna's his wife's name. Well, anyway. Well, maybe it wasn't him that was talking about it. Anyway, Primo Chemo, whatever. Doesn't matter the channels, right? That's a moot point. The point is that there are YouTubers that have talked about putting their low selling items into a different store and just keeping their high turnover items, their high sell-through rate items in a different store. So that store just keeps a good momentum going, because supposedly, and we're all guessing, we don't know, that if you've got slow moving stuff, it can slow down your fast moving stuff visibility on eBay. So either I get rid of those stuff, or I start thinking about separating and having a third eBay store, which I do not want to do, because I already have 2 eBay stores. One is already somewhat slow movers. They're seasonal, so it only really sells during the season. The rest of the year, it's really slow. And then let's say like you had Halloween costumes, right? So you still are going to sell Halloween costumes here and there throughout the year, But most of your Halloween costumes are going to be at Halloween time. Same with if you have a store that's just Christmas stuff, all vintage Christmas, any Christmas, right? You're going to sell that throughout the year, but primarily at Christmas. So having that be a separate store can actually help your algorithm for if you have, especially if you have enough to run a store, right? If you're only selling like 5 or 6 items, it's not worth having a separate store. But if I've got like, I was thinking about just doing a vintage store where it mirrors my Yellow Fox vintage store on Etsy. And then everything else that's not in that vintage Etsy store would be in its own separate store on eBay. But managing 3 stores is a pain. Managing 2 stores is a pain. I'm just going to end with this. So if you sell on Etsy, if you've got 2 stores on Etsy, they've got one seller app, and you click easily on switch account and you can switch to your other Etsy stores. I've got four Etsy stores, and my hair. I've got 4 stores, and it's so easy to click and change and look at each store on one app. It is also good because when I sell something on one store, I get a cha-ching. If I sell on the other store, I get a cha-ching. Like, no matter what store I sell it on, I get a cha-ching. But with eBay, my main store, my Yellow Fox Tamerlane store, it's under Tamerlane, that store is my main app, the app that I've logged into. Now I've got on my iPhone an icon that says my other store, but I have to go and click on that, and all it is a shortcut to a Safari page that opens up my eBay. But I don't get no cha-chings. I have to physically go and look at it, and it's in tiny, tiny print because it's like the classic website view. So I got to sit there and like blow it up to see because I got 56-year-old eyeballs. And it's just a pain. It is a pain having 2 stores unless you carry 2 phones where you can have 2 apps running simultaneously but logged into different accounts. Now, if you're going to have 3, then you would have to have 3 phones. If you want to hear the cha-ching, if you want to, because I don't even get to see like if somebody messages me, like I've got to physically go and look at that account all the time. It's just a pain. It really is a pain. If eBay was to implement something like Etsy has, in a heartbeat, and you know what, eBay, if they were to do that, I would pay for a third store subscription. It would be worth it that much for me to be able to do that. But right now, with the way eBay is set up, it's just not worth it for me. But anyway, all right, let me know, how was your Q4? Do you do, and what is the name of Flippin' Ain't Easy? What is his name? Tell me that. And what is, how was your Q4? How was your overall 2024? And we'll talk about resolutions probably in another video, but I'd like to know what you guys have plans for 2025. So we've already talked about it on the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, Resellers Hangout, go join. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.